news coming in. This is a mega Times Now exclusive, in a major exclusive. Times Now is now learning, obviously all from sources, some extremely shocking details about, quote unquote, a mystery call. This mystery call was reportedly made to the DFS, that's the Fire Services Department. Lenses now on the calls which were made on March 14. That's the night of the fire at the judge's residence. Remember, where burnt currency notes were reportedly recovered. Now, sources have confirmed that there were a total of three, as many as three, not one, but three calls made to the fire department that night. They have now raised a suspicion over a possible and alleged cover-up plot. First call. The first call was made reportedly around 11:35 p.m. That was on the helpline number, that's 101. DFS was alerted about the fire. Second call, and that is the call, the second call, the mystery call, which we are speaking of, viewers, which basically followed this particular call, where they were told that everything is under control and there is no need to rush fire tenders. Call number 3 was made, which says, again informs DFS about the fire incident. Tejshri is going to join us live on the broadcast, and she's going to break down this, big scoop for us and help us understand what it means for the case. Tejshri, if I could come to you, Lens is obviously on this call number 2, this mystery call. Can you elaborate on what this call was all about and why it raises certain suspicions of a possible perpetrated cover-up plot?
Well, absolutely. This is a mega exclusive news break of Times Now, where we have, in fact, got to know that it was not just one call that was made to the fire department in Justice Verma's case, but in fact, that particular day, that means on 14th of March, total 3 calls were made. First call was certainly made to the headquarters, that is on 101. From there, the call was transferred to Safdarjung fire station, and then the fire tenders were rushed. This was the first call, after which the immediate action was taken. But if we talk about the second call, this particular second call was a mystery call that we are talking about, because in this particular call, there was an individual, and our sources revealed that this particular individual called the fire station department and in fact have stated that there is no need to send the fire tenders and the situation is under control. But who was this individual and why he was trying to stop the fire tenders to come to the spot? And in fact, there was another call that was a running call that was made by an individual who physically came to the fire station at Safdarjung, in fact, and mentioned that there is a fire at 30 Tughlaq Road, that is at Justice Verma's residence, and there needs to be, the fire station needs to send fire tenders over there. So these were the number of calls that were made. And in fact, the second call that we are calling it as was that a cover-up call? Was that a mystery call? That still remains to be a big question, because as of now, nobody has made it clear as to who was that individual who called at the fire station and in fact has stated that aane ki zarurat nahi hai, ab aag bujh chuki hai. But according to the protocol, if we talk about the SOP, then SOP clearly mentions that the stop call can only be made by the fire officials and not by any other individual. Back to you.
So, Tejshri, since you're speaking about the protocol, and I want to elaborate that, talk about that a little more. What does the protocol say? Who's authorized to make these calls? As you said, the second call, the mystery calls, which obviously has raised suspicions, that call said, aane ki koi zarurat nahi hai, everything is under control. This all is well call. Who's authorized to make it? And in this particular case, do we know yet who made this second mystery call?
Well, this particular second mystery call, if we talk about the technical details, then it is called a stop call. But remember that this particular stop call cannot be made by any individual like you or me or any other common man. This particular stop call, according to the SOP, has to be made by an official of the fire department. Until and unless he makes the stop call, the fire tenders will not be called back to the fire station. So what happens is, when the fire officials reach to the spot, when they inspect the spot, and when they call the headquarters that yes, now there is no need to send the fire tenders, or the fire is doused, or the situation is under control, at that particular point of time, only the stop call is said to be a stop call. Otherwise, if an individual calls and says that aane ki zarurat nahi hai, or there is no need to send the fire tender, the situation is under control, at that particular point of time, the DFS team does not listen to that individual. The officials themselves go to inspect the place, and then if they feel that yes, the situation is under control, they make a stop call. So this is what is all the stop call about.
So, Tejshri, why don't you stay with us, because we'll also help our viewers understand what are the ramifications of what we just told you all. What does it mean? The big question, obviously, this big scoop, this big breaking news raises. Viewers, question number one, those are the big questions which are being raised after, obviously, the Times Now mega scoop, which we obviously just elaborated on. Question number one, who made the stop call? Just as Tejshri was telling us, this is an SOS call, can only be made by the fire official. So, who was behind this call? Who told the fire department officials that at the moment there is no need to come? Aane ki zarurat nahi hai. Question number two, what time was the call made? The exact time of the call made, that's also obviously extremely significant to the case. Suspicion, mystery around the case only rising, viewers. Question number three, who made the all under control assessment? If it was indeed made by, a fire official. Again, there are many unanswered questions, but whoever made that call, on what basis did they decide that there was no need for fire officials to come, that everything was under control? How was this assessment made? That's another big question which needs to be answered, and it remains obviously unanswered. Stop call made after burnt cash was spotted. Is that the case? Well, obviously, all these big questions remains. Obviously, we're not speculating, viewers, at the moment, but certainly there are big questions which are being raised, and we will, on Times Now keep asking these questions. Cop, was the call made by cops? Was this call made by DFS? Was it made by the judge's kin or staff? Who is this mystery person? Who has made this call? Was there any other intention behind this particular call? Why were the DFS officials told not to come to the crime spot? Why were they told that everything is under control? Or was everything indeed under control? There are many unanswered questions. Tejshri is obviously live with us. She's, breaking down the story for us. Tejshri, I, just read out a bunch of unanswered questions. Do you want to talk about this a little more and help us understand the ramification of what, we just broke on this particular case? The scandal, the mystery, the suspense is only soaring. Unanswered questions obviously remain. Okay, we've lost that line with Tejshri, but obviously, viewers, this is a big story which we are tracking for our viewers. DFS chief earlier also, when we had tried to, question him, we had questioned him multiple times. Later, we ended up chasing him as well, and he kept changing his version, saying initially that there was no cash found, later said that I never said it. There were multiple flip-flops. The suspense is soaring. That's the big breaking news. We'll keep bringing you each and every exclusive on this big story. For now, viewers, we are shifting our focus to another big news coming.